Hello everyone, this is Caroline and today's class is the Healers Program 8A, which is a continuation of Class 8. If you are new to this, I recommend that you go back and you look at the first classes 1 to 7 to make sure you are following the program correctly, and so that your questions that you may have now are probably already answered. The way we're going to go about today's class is, as always, I will explain a few things today first, and then we will have a brief time for questions and answers, and then we will get right into the practice session. Again, if you understand the root cause of an issue, then you will know how to heal it. This is really the point of this method, to truly understand why you have created something in the first place, how you have created it, so that you can reverse it. In today's class, we're going to try to understand symptoms, how they work and how they may trick us, and what we really understand by when we say spontaneous healing. How does it really work? And so to have more clarity on the healing process, very important. We're also going to continue talking about surrogate healing. How does it really work? How many different ways can we do, can you be a surrogate for someone else? And then we're going to go ahead and practice everything we've learned so far. So the path to healing, or the steps in the healing process, how does it really work? So somebody comes to you and you try to do a session, a couple of sessions, you work on yourself, and then things start to happen. But we're not really sure, in other words, what are the real steps that the cells or the organs are going through in order for the complete healing to happen. So first of all, if you understand that in order for you to create an illness, it means that you have sustained, remember, negative emotions or a particular lower vibration for a long period of time. If you have for a prolonged period of time sustained a particular vibration, then this vibration is going to have a momentum, a certain life force behind it, and that's how the illness is going to manifest. So the healing happens when you basically stop this momentum that is continuously accelerating. So the first step in the healing process is that you first need to stop this momentum, the negative momentum that's going in the wrong direction. This stopping could be actually quite quick, instantaneous, but let's just say at least an hour to several days, which is a lot more realistic. This is when you do a session with someone or on yourself for the very first time. The first thing you do is you stop this negative momentum. Then you try to maintain the balance of where this person is or where you are in the healing process. Again, this could take an hour to several weeks, depending on how strong the momentum is. Then once you have maintained the balance, then you have to try to reverse the momentum into the proper direction. This again could take realistically up to an hour to several days, again depending on the momentum and on the response of the person being healed. And finally, once you have reversed the momentum, then you want to give it the new information, the new momentum, to push it in the proper direction. This takes seconds to an hour. So if you look at these steps, you can actually have healing in very short time, even for something that you've been holding on for many years, but it could also be dragged over days and weeks and months if you are misunderstanding the healing process. So that's the reason why I wanted to explain to you how things really work as you are healing. So here's a normal cell when you're age 3. The normal cell has a certain lifespan. It's supposed to function a certain way and continuously change pattern, reprogram itself, regenerate itself so that it continues to be healthy. from the beginning until the end of your life. As we talked in previous classes, the cell is meant to continue living in a healthy space, even though it goes through stages of transformation and transition. It doesn't mean that it has to deteriorate. So let's say that this is the normal, healthy path for a life, for a cell throughout your life. But what happens is, suddenly at one point in your life, you create a block. Let's call it this block, I'm a failure. And what happens is this cell that is going along, doing its own thing, minding its own business, suddenly starts to change direction. It starts to take another form, another vibration, another path, which was not its original path. And this is the momentum that I was talking about earlier. You create a new vibration with a new momentum, and now the cell starts to have a new life of its own. So in order for you to heal, as I mentioned earlier, you first has to stop this new momentum. You got to say, okay, fine, I get it, you're going in that direction, but you got to stop right now. Then you have to maintain the balance of the two. This is kind of a transition in a very awkward place in the healing. Then when you get closer, the more you release, the more you have the ability to go back to the time where this block was created, and you have the opportunity to reverse the momentum. And once you are at that point of going back to the root cause, then you create a new momentum for that cell to go back to its natural path, so that you can continue healing. So what this means is then if that is the case, then how does spontaneous healing really occur? First of all, we have to understand that spontaneous healing could be interpreted as spontaneous. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So it's very important what I'm telling you here, because when you are doing this work, the healing work, you are expecting to heal. And most of the time you're expecting to heal right away. That's what you hope for. That's what people are hoping for. And what we need by spontaneous is that it will be sudden, it will be final. But actually what could be happening is that the condition may be stopped, but it doesn't mean necessarily that it's completely gone. Stop does not mean gone. And so this could happen, for example, if you have a condition for many, many years, and suddenly you stop having these symptoms, which is fantastic. I'm not saying no, but does this mean it is spontaneous healing? It means it's spontaneous stopping of the problem, but it does not mean necessarily that the entire condition has been eliminated. Another way that we interpret spontaneous healing is sometimes the condition is sustained at a certain level, meaning, again, it's slightly similar to the previous step, which the person's symptoms get better and the destructive cells that, the momentum just stops going. And for example, in the case of a cancer patient, they can go to to their doctor after this healing session and realize that the cancer cells are not proliferating anymore. So again, this could be interpreted as spontaneous healing, but does that mean that the root cause of the cancer is gone? Maybe, maybe not. Obviously not. So again, here's another way that we interpret spontaneous healing when in fact it is really not the case. A third example of what we think spontaneous healing is when the condition is reversed. So this means that the destructive cells are restored fully. So this is more of a complete type of healing. But to me, what I would call spontaneous healing is not simply to stop the symptoms, but to have the entire condition reversed and re-established, meaning your cells are now going in the right direction. So, but what happens is, so regardless of the type of spontaneous healing that may occur, If you don't know the condition that created the illness in the first place, then you will not have a healing that is full and complete. So my point is, we have symptoms that we interpret or misinterpret rather, that gives us the impression or the illusion that we have totally healed, or we're expecting the healing to look or feel a certain way. And there are many reasons why symptoms are very confusing, because sometimes as you are doing the healing process, as you are going through the sessions and the healing is progressing, sometimes you still have symptoms, but the symptoms don't really necessarily mean that you still have the condition. Sometimes it's not really the cells that are responding, it's really your energetic body that is experiencing this symptoms, meaning it's almost like your what we call the aura or the energy field. The information of that condition that you used to have is still there, and that is the part, it's what we call memory cell related symptoms. It means it's still playing out the same old symptom even though the condition is actually gone. Another way we misinterpret symptoms could be very much psychosomatic, meaning your mental state creates the symptom even though you don't even have the condition anymore. And we know that that is true from the placebo effect, meaning you can have an experience even though there is no condition whatsoever. An example is, for example, IBS, a condition where if you're very nervous or stressed out, you display certain condition, but in fact you don't actually have the actual a disease of any sort. It's all mental. Another form of symptom that could be misinterpreted is what we call non-localized or referred symptom. In fact, we know what referred, you should know what referred pain is. For example, you have a problem in your stomach, but you actually feel it in your head. You could eat something and then have a headache. So does it mean that it's your head that is the problem, or is it your stomach that is the problem? So that's another time where the symptom could be very confusing, and you simply don't know if you're healing, how you're healing, how much have you healed. So it's very, very confusing. Of course, sometimes also as you are going through the healing process, the symptom change. It seems to be the same because you are so used to, your body is so used to reacting and having the same symptom over and over, that when you have it again, even though you've been healing it and working on it, you immediately come to the conclusion that, oh, it's not working, it's not improving. But in fact, the symptom, if you really look at it carefully, it's really not quite the same. It resembles the original symptoms that you used to have, but it's not quite the same. And finally, as we all know, the more sensitive we become, sometimes we have symptoms that are not even ours. So sometimes we have really, really strong headaches. This has to do with the collective consciousness. We are all energetically interconnected. Whether we understand that, know it, it's proven scientifically or not, it doesn't really matter. I think you know that you are energetically connected with all of the collective consciousness. And so if there's major disturbances going on, you're going to feel it in your body. So does that mean your body, something's wrong with your body? Of course not. So this is another time where symptoms could be very confusing. So the conclusion, or what I'm trying to tell you here, is that the symptoms that you have can mean anything. So you have to really learn to interpret your symptoms properly. And the reason why this is so important, because you are healing, you are working on yourself and healing something, and then here comes a symptom that jumps in, and then immediately you come to the conclusion that the healing is not working. So that is simply not true. All right, so that's the reason why I wanted you to take a look at this and really understand that during the healing process, it is quite a difficult task to undo all of the work, all of the those bubbles and strings, all of these blocks. And so, because I get a lot of from your emails, you're telling me, okay, I've been working on this, and it's I've done this session 3 times and it's not gone. But when I look at you, I see that half of it is gone or 3/4 of it is gone, but you are still displaying the same symptoms. So you come to the conclusion that it's not gone. So that's why I'm telling you this is very important to look at how complex all of it's actually. This is not so complex. I mean, there's so much I can draw, in those PowerPoints thing, but really, you can look at the picture on your right. The bubbles and strings look something like that. It is very, very interconnected. It's very complex, and it's all kind of connected with everything else. So that's why as you are healing and undoing all of these bubbles and strings, if you don't realize how complex it is, you immediately come to the conclusion that, okay, nothing is happening, therefore I am not healing. But check this out. The more you do a session, the more you do work, the more strings you are undoing and you are reversing. Same with the bubbles. The block is smaller, the symptoms are less, but you are expecting a sudden you're expecting everything to simply vanish in this one instant, and you don't realize the complexity of what you are really doing. So the methods that I am teaching you are allowing you to navigate through this maze, really through this web of thing, and take the one piece, the domino effect, remember, that will help you to release those strings and those bubbles as quickly as possible. So, but for example, if you could have done 3 or 4 sessions, and you could be right here. You see, you only have a couple of strings and maybe 3 more bubbles left. But then you're going to email me and say, I still have the migraine, or I still have this. How come? Well, you're saying the technique didn't work, or do I need to do something else? And again, you are being tricked by your own programming, and you are not realizing that you are actually improving. And if you really, really learn to interpret your symptom carefully and properly, you will realize that the symptom is really not the same. It feels much further, much smaller, much different. And so to make sure that this is a complex process, and to make sure you're not misinterpreting your symptoms or the symptoms of another. And until finally everything is completely gone from your body, then you will cease to have symptoms completely. But again, having said that, you could be at this stage, have nothing at all, and you could still email me and say, I still have those migraine headaches. They're a little bit different, but I still feel them. And that could be coming from the collective, or that could be coming from your energetic body that is used to rehearsing the same story. And I tell you, I promise you it's not there, but you are not wanting to believe. And so that's why I'm telling you, it's very important for you, as you go through this process of healing, to trust that every time you are doing one session, you are traveling through this maze, you're navigating through this maze, you are undoing a huge amount, large chunks. And if you really, really look carefully at what your symptom is telling you, it is always different, and it's moving you forward. The more you allow this to happen, the faster your healing is going to be, and instead of resisting or questioning and all that good stuff. All right, good. So let's continue talking about surrogate healing. So last time we mentioned that we can be working on someone else, but there are different ways and different slight different techniques that have slightly different effect. So Surrogate healing, you could be releasing for another person who is not here, for example, a child. You can use a conduit, another person, for example, a mother, to be the surrogate for her child, for a third person. This particular case, it's a kind of an indirect way of healing, and I'll show you this in just a second in the drawing. It'll make more sense. You can also use the mother to access the child, but in a direct way rather than indirect way. And finally, you can also use the mother and basically access both the mother and the child and heal both at the same time. And so you will say, okay, well, if the fourth one heals both, why don't I just do that? Of course, that sounds easy, or sounds like it's the best way to go about it, but it is not necessarily the case. It is really case by case. What is really required at the time? So let's try a surrogate healing session 1. Do you remember Timothy, who is autistic, who does not want to communicate, and there's nobody else there? You are going to act as his surrogate. So whatever you feel, of course, is about the client. You've added in your contract that I'm going to continue to work until I feel an absolute no resistance from the child, and that is an infringement on his free will, at which time I will absolutely stop. So in respect with the free will of the other, then I will continue to do my session, and basically I am connecting energetically with the child, and everything that I am feeling is about the child. I say, I feel, I ask and intend to release this and that, and I can just visualize the child being there, receiving the light, receiving the whatever frequency, and that is a typical surrogate healing session where you use yourself to simply heal another that who is not here. All right? And that's one way. And the next way, the surrogate healing session number 2, is you have Timothy's mother, who is a medical doctor actually, and she's tried several different techniques in the medical field. It does not seem to be working, so she comes to you. She wants to try out this energy medicine stuff. She heard you're good. She heard about the Omnium method, so she wants to give it a try. So she comes to you and says, hey, my son Tim does not want to communicate. Can you help me out here? Give me some ideas. And so in this particular case, of course, you have your agreement, and in your agreement you're saying now the mother is acting as the surrogate for Tim. You then connect with the mother spirit self, of course, and through her spirit self you connect with the spirit self of the son. And then you begin the session. Just look at this carefully for a moment, and you will realize the session continues in the same way. However, I use the mother to I still feel whatever I feel is about the son. That does not change. But what happens is I use the mother as the conduit, and I can involve the mother, in fact, and tell her to repeat if she wants to, or simply use her body, her consciousness, to reach the energy field of her son. This particular method is what we call an indirect surrogate healing method, meaning you are tapping into the consciousness of the child, of the third person, through a surrogate, which is the mother in this particular case. So this is an indirect way, but it has also, I mean, we say indirect, but it's not necessarily a negative thing. It is simply different. Because it allows Timothy to have more space, so to speak, energetic space. And you are working through the mother that also is part of her experience. She's experiencing things in her body and sensing that she is assisting the child in this way as well. So this has a particular benefit or a particular reason for being, but of course there's another way. And the third way is, here's again Timothy's mother. Help me out here. My son does not want to communicate. And here you are again. Your agreement is exactly the same. But what happens in this particular time, you tap into the consciousness of the spirit self of the mother, but at the same time, you establish another connection with the child. The effect of this healing is completely different. Timothy's going to feel it differently. The mother's going to feel it differently. And in this particular case, when you establish this connection, of course, everything else stays the same in the sense of the connection, in the sense of the agreement. What you feel is about the child, but what happens is now you direct your attention and the focus on the child directly. So you will say, well, what's the mother doing in this whole thing? In the meantime, the effect that this will have on the mother is very different. It's almost like in this particular example, she will be able to experience to observe rather what is happening to the child without her feeling the information herself within her body. This is very helpful when the mother is very, very close to the son, or it's a very kind of emotionally she's too involved, or she has so many blocks that she can't really deal with the healing going through her body, you see. So this is a very it's more direct for the child, but for the mother, it's an indirect way to assist without using her actual body and her cells to participate in the healing. So the effect is going to be quite different. All right. So, and then another way is, here's the mother again. My son does not want to communicate, and your agreement is exactly the same. Now, you're going to, same thing, tap into the spirit self of the mother, and in this particular case, you're going to overlap both energy fields of the mother and the child. Now, what happens in this particular case is whatever you are targeting in the child is also being targeted in the mother. So needless to say, for example, there's a block that the child has. Well, the mother is going to have the exact same block. Otherwise, you would not see the block. So in other words, the healing is really for both at the same time. So the dynamics of this way of healing again are it's a very different effect. So in the case of the mother, this could be quite intense because she's going to feel it very, very strongly in her body, and she's going to feel it energetically in her son. So this is quite an intense experience for the surrogate, and that's the reason why I'm showing you all these different options, because not everyone is necessarily the right one. You have to learn to really feel what is most appropriate for this particular case. Should you be the surrogate? Should you tune into the mother's frequency to reach the child in an indirect manner for the child? Should you be joining the two? Should you be having the mother be there in an indirect way? So as you can see, there's no one answer. It really depends. You have to be in the moment, and you have to be quite aware of how you are proceeding. All right, so I'm going to stop right here because we said this will be a short session. Two very important things, as I mentioned, is the understanding how the healing process for yourself and for others, to be in the moment, not jump to conclusion, not allow external factors to tell you how you're supposed to be feeling in the healing process and all that stuff. And also when you are doing healing on others, to have more clarity. So let's go to see if you guys have any questions. This is the time to ask questions very quickly, so that we can then move into the practice on each other. All right, so please raise your hand if you have a question on what we've covered today. Or you could also type in your question. All right, here we go. First question. What's your question, please? We can't hear you, my dear.
Yeah, now it should be better.
Okay.
The question is, so you talked about the symptoms and how it's very difficult to how to interpret them. Now, I have a client who has problem with her eyes, and I've been working for months with her. And every time I ask her, how is it? She says it's kind of the same. But when I start asking a bit more questions, there's, sometimes little variations. So what can you do with a client to help them, trust and be motivated that, we are clearing, and even if they don't see maybe immediately effects or results?
I would really exactly address that. I would not worry so much about trying to convince her that her eyes are getting better. I would address the question of resistance, because this is again why I'm bringing this up. This is very important for when you're working with others and also when you're working on yourself. So what happens is you are simply not wanting to believe that this works so quickly. And so I would address specifically that, and you will see that her real issue is about resisting a lot of other things other than her eyes. Does that make sense? And so, that's the reason why I'm talking to you about this, because the faster you allow yourself to believe that this works, the faster you're going to manifest a spontaneous healing. And I'm not talking about spontaneous healing, an interpreted spontaneous healing. I'm talking about a complete one. Because if you are fully aligned and believing and trusting, that's what we call kind of like a miracle thing. It's because you are so believing that this will work, that it does work, you see. And so that's why it is all about the resistance. So that's how I would address it. Great question. Okay, who else? Let's see. Kim, the surrogate examples that you give included the mother. Is this because the mother is more energetically linked to a child thing than anyone else? Yeah, I mean, I'm just taking a typical example where the mother is energetically connected, but also has the mother thing going on of feeling guilty or responsible for the well-being of the child. So it's really more of a typical example and nothing else. Okay. Christina saying, when you stop the momentum of a condition, if a person continues to create more blocks, will that interfere and not allow the healing actually to occur? Okay, what happens is that it's not that they create more blocks. I actually believe that it's very difficult to create blocks when you already have so many, or that you already are at age 30 or 35 or something like that. So what happens is when you are at age, when you are at age 35, it's very difficult to kind of start to have a belief system that maybe you are a failure or that your father abandoned you. It's very easy to create this block when you're 3 or 6 or something, but not when you're 35. So usually it's not that people are creating more blocks, it's again about the resistance. You see? So think about that. Think about the resistance of healing. Also, as much as people want to heal, As much as they want to have a spontaneous healing that is complete, a true spontaneous healing, they are also terrified. And so are you, by the way. So you are also wanting to have this instant, wow effect, of course, and you are also terrified to experience it yourself, for yourself and also for others. So think about that for a moment. It's very strange how the human mind thinks of what they really want, and when it really comes to it, the fear just jumps in. Okay, the second part of my question is, can anyone be a surrogate for anyone else? Yes, anyone can be a surrogate for anyone else. It's an interesting question. So a couple of points to discuss here. First of all, I really do not recommend that you start being the surrogate for everyone you know, or you see somebody down the street and they're struggling through something. You think somebody has a drinking problem, your brother has this problem, your mother has this, and here I am, I'm just going to be a surrogate for everyone. I think this is a big no, because you are not here to just kind of be healing everybody right and left without their kind of knowing. Because see, people are here to understand and to really feel, realize their own blocks and heal them. It's through the process of the healing that they're going to grow and expand spiritually. And so that's the reason why I really, some people have this tendency that they want to heal everybody. I would really look at why you feel this way, and you will realize that it's really not your job to do that right and left. So that's one part of your question. Another part of the question is, can you be the surrogate for a consciousness? For example, let's say there's a consciousness that's very, very expanded and very, very large consciousness. But you, from your perspective, your consciousness, you're not fully awakened quite yet, and this has nothing to do with being smaller or lesser. I hope this is not registering that way. This simply has to do with your consciousness expansion and the mass of your consciousness. For those who are taking the class Mastering the Human Mind and have read the books, know what I'm talking about. So the mass of your consciousness is it's let's say the size of a tennis ball. I'm just making this up. And then the mass of a consciousness of another person is the size of the whole planet. Okay, so there's quite a bit of difference here. I'm just exaggerating. But so what happens is, you, from the tennis ball perspective, you think or you feel that this other person maybe has a block, but that's your perception, by the way. Maybe not. Sometimes it's really difficult to really see, unless this person opens up and voluntarily tell you and show you or whatever. So from your tennis ball perspective, you think that this person has a block or struggling through something, and here you are, from the goodness of your heart, you want to help them, so you say, I'm going to be a surrogate for this person. And that simply doesn't really work this way. So again, we're getting into a completely different topic here, but I just thought I would throw this at you. So when you say, can anybody be the surrogate for anybody? In general, yes, but maybe no, not necessarily everybody, because sometimes, like I said, in the case of consciousness mass, you could be looking at it from your perspective and misinterpreting what you are looking at. Therefore, your surrogate work will not really work. All right, hope this helps. Another question, why aren't you guys using your microphones? I don't know. What is the primary purpose of surrogacy, and what do you use it? Well, of course, the idea is that if somebody is truly in desperate need and they cannot communicate, or there's another issue where they're really stuck, and so it's okay to allow this process to at least open them up or move them in the right direction or something like. So you're not really doing the work for them. You're simply opening a door. That's all you're doing. And this person may not be able to communicate or is so terribly ill or what have you. This is when the surrogate system is necessary or important. All right, who else? Let me see. Then we're going to move on to working on each other. Did you have a question? Your hand is up. It's up. Did you have a question?
Oh, no, sorry, I didn't have a question. It just randomly pulls up. I don't know why.
Oh, maybe. Okay, so maybe you do have a question unconsciously. All right, here we go. Go ahead. What's your question? Yasmin?
Yeah. So you said before that we could be working on the symptom and healing and pulling it, but not all the bubbles are clear. So would there be a way to know, for instance, where we're at concerning a specific issue? So let's say, for instance, I've been working on my eyesight for years, and it's not completely resolved, but I don't know how much is left.
Yes, exactly.
How would I do that?
You do exactly, you tune, let's say it's your eyes, so you merge with your eyes. As always, we said the merging process allows you to retrieve the proper information directly from whatever it is. So here you are at 100%, here you are at, I don't know, 70%, here you are at 50%, here you are at 20%, here you are at 10%, and here you are at 5%, right? So all you have to do is merge with your eyes and say, tell me how much I have left, and you'll know exactly. Very simple.
That's simple. Cool. Thanks.
All right. So you guys also, when you are working on something and you think you have a symptom, and please don't jump to the conclusion. Simply say, okay, that's fine. I understand this is a complex thing. Just tell me where I am in the process and how I can just move through this faster. Then you are not resisting. Now you are moving, you are believing, you are trusting, and you have a better chance to have a faster, spontaneous healing. Okay, last question, then we're going to begin the healing. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Speak up, please.
Do you mean that we have to address the symptom and to actually know if we are misinterpreting the situation? To know, if we still feel a symptom or we're not sure that it is a symptom that's related to the ailment, or is it healing and it's still there? So do we actually address the symptom?
Yes, of course. That the symptom is for you it's like telling you, hello, there's something wrong. So, but what is wrong is the way you're supposed to address it. So when you have, for example, a headache, you, instead of saying, I still have the headache, the healing didn't work, you just don't go there. Just go to the headache. Today is Wednesday. The headache is not the same as the one on Monday, I assure you. So on Wednesday, you go to the headache and you say, please show me, what are you about today? Is it the same problem that I'm eating dairy, or that I have the same physical issues? Or is it maybe the collective consciousness that's freaking out right now and it's registering as the same symptoms? So my point is, you have to learn to be in the moment. You have to learn to let go of the programs, the program that keeps running and tell you how stuck you are, how you can't heal, how difficult it is, how this doesn't work, how you're not connected, what have you. You have to take every day the symptom as if it was a brand new thing and talk to it and unravel it right there. Make sense?
Yes, that's
Cool.
very clear now. Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so it's in the same thing also what I'm teaching you in this method, just like anything else. The method itself, there is no one size fits all. It is always what this particular client needs in this particular case, and go from there, and what is the most appropriate tool for this particular situation. All right, so we're going to move to now volunteering very quickly here. So I've had some people who asked to volunteer. Georgia, are you ready? Are you there?
Yes,
Would you still like to volunteer? I know that you sent me an email requesting.
yes,
Okay, so we're assuming your problem is still the same.
The issue is a skin problem that
Okay. Can you answer my question? So you asked me to volunteer 5 weeks ago or whatever, 6 weeks ago. So I'm assuming your problem is the same?
No, maybe it is not the same. I have worked on this issue.
Okay, stop right there. Good answer. You passed the test. You passed the test. Because if you had told me that it's the same, I would tell you to think about it again. Because you are never the same, especially if you're working with this energy. Every time you connect, you have shifted, and you have to believe that you have moved forward in one way or another. All right, go ahead. So tell us what the problem is.
Yes, it is a problem in my skin, and I have this problem since my childhood. It appeared when I was 7 or 8 years old. I can't recall exactly. And since then, it comes and goes. And the last years, it usually appears during the summer and goes away during the winter time.
What is the problem? What happens to your skin?
Well, the doctor said that I went to the doctor when I was a child, and he said that it was psoriasis.
Oh, okay, yes.
And yes, I don't want to go to the doctors
Okay.
so much after.
Okay. Do you believe it is?
What?
Do you believe that that's a physical problem?
Well, I believe that it is connected with several things.
Okay. All right. So Georgia is giving us the prow. She's our client. We're going to merge with her spirit self, and we're going to practice surrogate healing as well as engage Georgia. So that way we can do a couple of things to practice. So what we're going to do, we're going to tune into her energy field, of course, her spirit self, and ask the root cause of her problem. And then we're going to find out, if we need ask an intent, if we need color, if we need geometry to shift that, we're going to engage her. And then we're going to close this quick exercise by doing another clearing, us being the surrogate for Georgia, and see how that feels. All right, so here we go. Georgia, you allow yourself to just be open. Everyone, close your eyes. Breathe in, exhale, go to your heart center. We're going to assume that we have done the connection. We are in our sacred space. We are clear on our agreement. And breathe in. As you exhale, expand your energy field and merge with the spirit self of Georgia, wherever she may be. As we merge with her spirit self, we ask to see, feel, sense the root cause of her skin problem. In your heart center, what is the root cause? And how do we reverse it? Ask an intent, color, geometry. Who gets what? Okay, as soon as you're clear, guys, raise your hand or type it in. Let me know the root cause and let me know the method to reverse, the best method for this client. All right, we see some connection with the family, a family member. It seems that and how do we reverse it, folks? You need to let me know. Is it ask and intend or... also the root cause, it's connected to family, which family member and why. Who can see the father? And what are the dynamics? Hey Jessica, do you have something to say?
No, I was raising my hand to volunteer. I
Oh,
didn't realize it was still on.
okay.
Sorry.
All right, do you have something to say since you're speaking now?
No, I didn't really get anything.
Okay, all right, keep working at it. So the father is quite angry at her. Also, there is like a big, thick, dark cloud around her that she's creating a confusion about her presence in this family, in this life, in this country. I'm not sure where you are right now, but it's and you're hiding behind this cloud. You're hiding inside this cloud that has to do with hiding from your own family. And also feeling unattractive, being told that you're not attractive. Your father's very hard on you. The root cause that she doesn't feel... All right, and let's see if this rings a bell. Georgia, does that make sense to you?
Yes, I feel that it has to do with the relationship with my father, and I also feel that it has to do with my grandfather.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And it is like this. I was always feeling kind of strange being in this family.
There you go. Confirmation, everything we've said. So what happens is your father really, really makes you feel small, unattractive, kind of not good enough. And that kind of triggers your way to hide behind something. So you've created this big dark cloud around you. That really, so just so that you can hide, and that creates a dynamic with the entire family. And so that is the root cause. It starts with your father. Now, your grandfather, what you're saying, really, it's almost like his energy and your father's energy are very connected. They're interconnected. So you're projecting on your grandfather the same dynamics, but it's really kind of more directed at you from your father, if that makes any sense. Okay, so what we're going to do, since you relate to what we just said, we're going to use ask and intend, and also some color, because we can break this. Whoever saw the dark cloud around her, very, very dark cloud of feeling small, humiliated, and also a sense of not knowing how to get out of there, you know, feeling stuck. And so we're going to clear this big fog of dark cloud. We're going to break it with a green and yellow. And at the same time, we're going to do ask and intend. All right. So we're going to ask you to imagine a very, very bright green and yellow light that is coming through the top of your head, and that is cleaning and clearing the space around you. Allowing you to just breathe. This is your sacred space. You are entitled to it. And go to your heart center and say, I ask and intend to release my terrible fear and belief that I have disappointed my father and everyone in the family with the way that I look, the way I look. And that I could never be accepted and honored for who I really am. Breathe in, exhale. Imagine every cell in your skin opening up and just allowing this energy to flow. And also, I have to say, I meant to mention that as a child, you also had a trauma. You had a very strong trauma, mental trauma. You kind of had a complex, you know, you created a trauma from this experience. And it's from that point on that you started developing the skin problems. And I'm looking at the details. I see some abuse, my dear. And this is where your grandfather comes in, behind your father, kind of a thing. Your grandmother also. She's there in the background. She's not really interfering, which is why you're angry at her. So I see some damage, abuse, physical abuse. If you can relate to that, just focus on your skin right this moment. At the age of 7 or 8, say, I ask and intend to release the frequency of this trauma of having been abused by a male, a father figure, a grandfather energy, and other male energy. I'm choosing to let go of this belief and this trauma, this frequency once and for all, from every cell in my stomach, lungs, and replace this belief with a new energy that allows me to focus on the now and my ability to create a new reality as of today. Breathe in through the nose. As you exhale through the mouth, notice how you feel. And now, folks, what we're going to do is to continue one more release for Georgia, and we're not going to tell her. We're going to just be the surrogate. Obviously, she's allowing us to do so, and we are in a healing session. So go to your heart, and whatever you feel is what Georgia is ready to let go of in your body. Ask to be the surrogate as you release. You do the next release. So here we go. Breathe in and exhale. Very nice. Okay, my dear, tell us what you're feeling and what happened.
Well, I felt a lot of energy passing through me somehow in my body, and especially in my right side of the body.
Right? That's where your father was coming through, the right side.
And the thing is that I was kind of aware of all this, but I didn't exactly know how to let go of it completely, you know.
Okay, do you feel that now it's moved? It's moved out?
I feel much more relaxed
Okay?
and kind of more clean somehow.
Clean, of course. There we go. So, were you aware of a trauma when you were a child? When you were 7 or 8 years old? Do you know what I'm talking
No,
about?
I was not aware at that time, but I started to have some feelings and senses working with energy through other kind of work
Okay.
several years ago. And I was kind of letting myself to go to that place and release what is there to be released.
Right. Okay. I think you were afraid to look at the trauma because it was quite big, but it doesn't really matter because we are releasing. We've released it. So now you have to just allow the domino effect to take place, meaning we took the big chunk. This is the time that you started to create skin problems. That is the time. And so we went there, we took it out. Now you have to let the rest of the strings and the bubbles just go, okay? Very important, since that's the topic of today. Whatever symptoms you have in your particular case is your skin. Do not let that distract you and go to the mirror and say, oh, it's still there. Of course it's still there. It may not be there for long, but what I'm saying is, by you saying, you know, what if it doesn't work and this and this and that, you are slowing yourself down. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You have to believe that you can resolve this. You have to believe that we have done the work today to create the domino effect that will continue to heal you completely. It doesn't mean that you have cleared everything in your life. We're talking about this issue. All right?
Okay, Caroline, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, anybody has a comment on their experience of the surrogacy? Okay, so Susan saying the next release was in the throat. I used purple in the shape of the infinity symbol. Yes, there was quite a bit in the throat. Did anyone else? If you have a comment, please raise your hand. If not, please do not raise your hand. Carmen, did you have a comment?
Well, I was getting that actually she had a great loss. That was the trauma in childhood.
Yes.
And maybe it was something like losing someone that she was feeling very close to, or even losing a pet, because I saw some sort of fur.
Yes. Okay, we can ask her.
All
Yes.
the other traumatic things that was in her life became so painful.
Yes, exactly. That's why there's a lot of this trauma that she doesn't really, it's very good, Carmen. She doesn't really want to look at. She kind of has a sense. So, but the thing is, she doesn't have to look at it. She doesn't have to dissect every little tiny thing. The point is, I know there is a trauma. I'm ready to let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go, because it's the time that you spend figuring out why this happened and how and this and that. You are wasting the time of your healing. You see? All right, very good. So I have also Marieke, my dear. No, sorry, it's the wrong one. Sorry. I think you volunteered last time. Let me see if Marieke wants to volunteer this time. Hi there. Did you still want to volunteer?
Oh, yes. Yes, please.
Very good. All righty. So what is the problem for you today? Of course, you sent me your email a while back.
Yeah. It has changed meanwhile.
Okay.
But still, yeah, I would like to look at it in
Okay.
this way as well.
Very good. Okay, so what is the problem? Please tell us the problem.
I think the shortest way to tell it and explain it is pain in my groins.
Sorry, pain where?
In my groins.
Pain in the groin, okay. And how long has it been?
Oh, something like 8-10 years maybe.
Wow, okay. How bad is it now?
It is sort of improving, but bit by bit.
Okay, all right. So let's take a look one more time and see. We want to know the root cause of this physical pain in the groin area. Okay, ready? Here we go. Go back to your heart center. Breathe in. As you exhale, make sure you clean the slate from the previous client. We are starting with a clean slate from scratch. And of course, we assume that we have created sacred space. We know the agreement, so on and so forth. We're going to breathe in and exhale and expand our spirit self through the grid system that is most appropriate to reach Marieke in her physical space. And we merge with her spirit self only to retrieve the root cause of the pain in the groin area. And as you begin to feel the connection, feel or sense the root cause, also get clarity on the best method to reverse it. As you begin to have clarity, please share. You can type it in or raise your hand. If you want to share the information, raise your hand. Otherwise, please keep your hand down. Okay, Nora, what are you getting?
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I believe that what I got was that she is having some problems with her lower spine,
Okay.
and they're related to unbalanced male-female energy.
Okay.
And if she could or would overlay the idea of unity over her pelvic region,
Do we
that would
use,
help.
okay, do we use ask and intend? Do we use light? What do we use?
Well, I'm comfortable always using light, so I have to say that for me, using light is always nice, but I think asking and intending would certainly facilitate, because she could take it into her heart space.
Okay.
Asking and intending and take it down into that area.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Very good. Someone else is saying relationship problems, something very difficult happened. Past life, assault as a woman, feeling powerless as a woman. Again, the whole male female. I feel heaviness in the chest area. Okay, so Kyla, you have the heaviness, but what is this about? So go to the heaviness in the chest area and get clarity. What exactly is this heaviness? Is this sadness? Is this confusion? What is this heaviness and what is it about? A brother figure is cause. Ask and intend is the best. Okay. Relationship with the son. Okay. All right. I actually see something quite different, but let me see what else. Who else got what? A lot of bumps, perhaps fibroid, organic nature, confusion, ask and intend. Okay, all right. So for me, Marieke, there are relationship issues. There is the male, female, that whole aspect of your own being and how it expresses its masculine and feminine aspects. So there's that going on. But for me, there's a deeper level or even another layer which has to do with your connection to Creator, and it's almost like there's a party in your energy field. It's like it's so open to almost anything, and it's almost like the connection that goes up to the universe or to the heavens, whatever you want to call it, is open, but it's not distinguishing what's coming in and how to utilize it. And you are also quite confused as to where you want to be. It's almost like you want to be there, but you're also supposed to be here, and you're very, very, very connected to spirit. There's like 1,000 spirit guides there, like, like I said, it's a party. But it's like more is not the merrier. It's kind of clogging your system, and so and your energetic space. So what's happening is that you are not allowing the connection to be clean and pure and precise, so that you can understand the purpose of your physical body in this physical form at this particular time. So that's why the energy is clogged up, and in fact, the groin area is symbolic to your physicality. That's why in the groin area we have the reproductive organs, the sex organs. We're male or female or what have you. So, and it's our connection to the earth, but to the physical form. You see. So that's why it's all clogged up there, because of your connection up there. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Very much so, yeah.
Okay, so the confusion about the masculinity and femininity and the relationship and all that stuff comes more from the your inability to focus on your connection, the proper connection, and to bring only that which is required for your spiritual awakening. All right? So if that's okay, we're going to clean house a little bit.
Please, yeah.
And we're going to make sure that we clean up the spirit energies that are it's not that they're inappropriate, they're not negative, but they're like, it's almost like a bunch of people who show up at a party and they were not invited just because they're like, it's a free buffet or something. So it's kind of like that. It's like there's a bunch of beings that are not supposed to be there, you know, and it's really clogging you up. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so here we go. Close your eyes and breathe in. And I'm going to use sound. I know we haven't worked on sound, but I'm going to send a particular vibration of sound, and then we will work on that next time. In the heart area, that opens up a lot of the channels that you have with the divine, your divine connections. And allow yourself to let go of the old pattern in the way you approach spirit and your connection to spirit, and to really reestablish the new contract. So breathe in through the nose. As you exhale, go to your heart and say, I am now choosing to let go of the spirit connections that are just occupying my space. I'm choosing to let go lovingly and compassionately of all this information and energy that is no longer required for me to awaken. Breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And we're going to bring some very bright blue light. It's kind of like a royal blue with very bright white light. Bring it through your heart. And intend to clear your heart from all past beliefs, past information, the frequency of all of the men and women relationships that you've had, to allow yourself to be totally clear in your own physical space. And breathe in and exhale. What is also happening is that you feel that you are bringing a very strong connection from Divine Father Creator in this body. Very strong, very clear. But it's almost like confusing you. That's why it's important what we're doing now. Okay, imagine your sphere, your sacred space, filled with very clear, silver and white light. The information in this light is to purify your space from all previously understood information, learned information, and create a brand new space for you, for this connection from Source. So imagine that your old physical space is now gone, and you are creating a brand new, pure sacred space that is filled with white light. And now step into this white light and bring this new connection with you. Very nice. Sit in this white light and just allow the new information to pour in, to pour through your body, to clean every cell in your body. And breathe in, exhale, very nice. And now focus on your groin area. Say, I ask and intend
I ask and intend
to release my belief
to release my belief
that I am not supposed to be in this body at this time,
that I'm not supposed to be in this body at this time,
that it's very confusing,
that it's very confusing,
and I don't understand its functionality well,
and I don't understand its functionality well,
and I'd rather run away.
and I'd rather run away.
I'm now choosing to let go
I'm now choosing to let go
of all the blocks regarding my physical body and my physicality,
all the blocks regarding my physical body and my physicality,
from every cell
from every cell
in my groin area,
in my groin area,
in my reproductive system,
in my reproductive system,
and hold on, I'm just taking a bunch of stuff. Did you ever have anything taken out?
No. You mean as an operation or something?
One second. Yeah, you have, it's almost like your ovary is not at the right place kind of a thing.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of... Okay. Very nice. Breathe in. Exhale. Well, your cat got the healing.
Yeah, they love the energy.
How are you feeling?
It's like I'm sizzling.
You're what?
I feel like sizzling all over.
Yes. Yeah. Sizzling. And what
And it
else?
sort of feels like finally sort of thing.
Yeah, finally, yes. Very good. So you had a little bit of like scar tissue. There's a bunch of scar tissue and like a little bit of like, yeah, I'm just going to say it's scar tissue. So anyway, there was quite a bit of cleaning that had to be done there and opening up and, you know, it should get released completely. Do you have any pain now?
Slight, but it feels much lighter.
Much lighter. Okay, good. So there's a little bit of a scar tissue that's kind of still stuck. So I'm just gonna give it the how shall I say, the kind of the push, the momentum to continue undoing until it is done. All right? But your biggest problem, like I said, was your connection. So it's important for you, first of all, make sure that you don't fall into the symptom trap. and which I don't think you will actually. I think you're good there, but you really need to reestablish your connection very strongly, very clearly, and cleanly. And I think you're going to find a difference with your connection from now on. And I want to encourage you also to close your energy field, especially from the top part when you are not connecting, because you're kind of like wide open.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, will do. Thanks.
Okay, good. Perfect. All right, we're going to take one more person. Let's see, John. Where are you, Johnny boy? Here's John. Okay, John. Hi there.
Hello.
Okay, so you're on.
Yeah, so I basically have an issue with my right temple, at least about 1 inch of my right temple. I basically got hit in the head by Mason in the store a while ago. It was kind of fell, and it didn't seem like an accident, but you know, it fell. And ever since then, I've had pains on and off in that region. Whenever I fly in a plane, it hurts. And it's been about 10 months since that happened.
Okay, so 10.
It doesn't hurt so much now anymore, but whenever, every once in a while, I'll feel pain or I'll feel energies moving in and out of there, almost like it's an opening into my energy field.
Okay, do you have pain right now?
No, I don't.
Okay, so why are we working on it? Just because every now and then?
It's right now, and the pain comes on and off.
Okay. All right, so I have a feeling it's not about that, but this is a good example of a client who's complaining about a problem that he has on and off in his right temple. He hit his head by accident. Sorry?
1 inch above.
1 inch, yeah, don't worry, we'll find it. So we want to know the root cause. He, of course, has a physical reason for it. He hit it, so it's a physical accident. But let's see, this is not enough reason. In this method, we want to know why you even attracted this accident. So let's go to the root cause and begin to work on, see what is the root cause for the accident, not for the pain. And then see what is the best method, ask and intend. So go ahead, close your eyes. And breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. In your heart center, first of all, we want a clean slate. Clean our consciousness from the previous client. Start with a clean slate at 0 point. Breathe in. As you exhale, expand your spirit self and travel through the grid system in the most appropriate way, protected way, and merge with the spirit self of John, wherever he may be. And as we merge with his spirit self, what happens? What is the root cause for this accident? And what is the best way to release it? In your heart center, what are you sensing? What are you getting? Okay, Nora, what is going on?
Well, I'm getting that he is not wanting to hear a specific truth,
Mm-hmm.
and the truth has been something that's been wanting to reveal itself, but he just does not want to acknowledge it.
What is the truth? What is this
I
truth?
didn't get
That far. Okay. Keep working at it. Very good. Okay, Christina is saying he doesn't trust himself because of confusion in his environment. You're on the right track. John is seeking attention, wants to be recognized by Creator. Yes. He needs clarity. Very good. Light. Very good. All right, so let me see. Daniel, do you have something to say, or you had your hand up? Is it for volunteering, or you have an answer for us? Okay, no response. All right, so what's happening is that, let me see, feels sorry for himself. He doesn't want to look at who he really is. Yes, of course. So it's a little bit the same as the truth, as what is staring him in the face. It's almost like you know what is truth, you know what the connection is, and you're kind of running away from it. That's basically what's happening. And as you run away without looking, you bump your head. So there is that going on. But there's also another thing, which is a belief system that you are being chased by spirit beings. It's almost like you have a feeling or a belief system, but it's also actually true. It started before a long time ago, but now it's kind of coming back. You have a belief system and a sense that you are being chased by evil spirits, or they're not that evil actually. I mean, they don't look that bad, but they're kind of chasing you around, and that's why you bump your head. Do you relate to what I'm saying?
Yeah, I tend to think that, every once in a while I have, spirits that, are after me or trying to interfere or cause trouble. Sometimes they are, sometimes I just freak out, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're running away. It's like you're running away from these beings that are chasing you. And so, like you just said, sometimes it is the truth that there is major interference and things going on. And most of the time there isn't. And what you're really running away from is your own connection. Really stopping and saying, my God, I have arrived. I know what this is. I am looking at myself. I know what this energy is doing for me, and so on and so forth. So it's a combination of the two. You're running away from yourself, and you're running away from the energy that you think is chasing you and stopping you from being who you are and doing the connection. So it's really the two. So that is the root cause of your accident, you see, because you're not paying attention. You create an accident because you're just running. You're not taking the time to stop and really be, okay, in the energy. So what we're going to do with John is I am going to work with him on telling the chasing spirits to play around somewhere else, and I will work on releasing some things. And I'd like you to be the surrogate for John and to feel, is that okay, John? Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to end up targeting many things at the same time, and this is going to really open you up. The intent is for you to clear this pain once and for all, but also whatever else is associated with the root cause which has attracted this accident in the first place. So I will lead John into this healing while everyone will work as a surrogate, you being the surrogate for John. Whatever comes up for you that is part of this root cause, you clear. And we will put our notes together in just a moment. So please don't listen necessarily to my comments to him. Just focus on yourself. So here we go. John, breathe in. Exhale. Go to your heart center and say, I ask and intend to release my tremendous fear and belief that the Divine Father and Creator is right here with me, staring me in the face, that I have arrived, that I am so close, but that I am full of fear and denial, that I am here for a true and high purpose. I am now wanting to let go once and for all from every cell in my physical body the fear of myself, who I really am, what I have come to do, and my intimate and unique connection to my Creator. I am choosing to embrace it now. Allow myself to truly be this magnificent energy, this light being that I am. In this physical form, at this moment in time, breathe in, exhale, I ask to release all the negative perception of myself from every cell in my physical body, from my skin, cheekbones, eyebrows, bridge of the nose, cheekbones, jaw, skull, eyes, and replace it with an energy of light that allows me to focus on my inner being and my true divine essence. Breathe in and exhale. Very nice. Fill your body and wrap yourself with a soft blue light and purple light. And when you're ready, let us know how you're feeling. Although, yes, tell me how you're feeling now and what happened for you, John.
I'm feeling lighter, like there's a bit of release of pressure.
Okay, we can't hear you very well.
I'm feeling lighter, like there's a release of pressure around me. Sometimes I feel pressure from, it's like the pressure outside part of the body,
Right.
lighter. And there was like a bit more vibration of the energy around my body.
Very good. Okay, so of course it's much lighter because there's less people chasing you. There's nobody chasing you. You're much clearer. But what's happening, John, is there's still so much fear. You're so afraid of yourself, of what this means, what this entails. Because deep inside you, you know you have something to say, something to do that is important. And so it's almost like you're sensing that you're getting there and you're going to have to deal with this fear. And so I want you to continue to work through it. Give yourself a couple of days just for this energy to continue to keep you clear and open and aligned. And then I'd like you to continue yourself focusing on the fear of what you have come to do. Very specifically that question. So go to your heart when you're next time you do the connection and ask this question and see everything that comes up for you, all the fear, all the confusion, whatever. Bring it all up. Just bring it up and face it, and so that you can release it once and for all. And so this is the juncture that you are in. I would not worry about your head. And I would simply focus on the deeper, much bigger root cause. But you're there, you're almost there, so that's why I'm saying focus on this fear, and I think you will be amazed at how you will feel on the other side. All right?
Thank you.
Sounds good? All right. Okay, folks, so this is it for today. I believe that whatever we worked on tonight has also some repercussions on everyone in the group, especially if you've intended it to be so. All the healing continues to happen, and as you know, we are meeting again next week. So for those who are not able to volunteer, you will, your time will come next time. There's so much we can do. And don't forget that you're still benefiting from others being healed, and simply intended to continue within your body, within your spirit and your energy field. And this will continue to be so. All right, folks. So I hope you've enjoyed today. I certainly did. And I look forward to being with you